Some Houston residents will no longer be allowed to smoke in the privacy of their own homes. KPFT local news reporter David Rizicki joins us live in the studio with details. David.
Marlo, the Houston Housing Authority has instituted a smoke-free policy for residents of the agency's public housing throughout the city. Under this new policy, residents and their guests will not be allowed to smoke inside their apartments, common areas, inside offices, or within 25 feet of main entrances. Houston Housing Authority's president and CEO, Tory Gunsolley, says the policy is intended to protect residents from the dangers of secondhand smoke.
The dangers of secondhand smoke is really why we've implemented the policy. Secondhand smoke causes lung disease. Secondhand smoke causes heart disease. In children, secondhand smoke can cause SIDS. It also increases the severity and the frequency of asthma attacks and the frequency of ear infections. So we're really doing this for the health of our residents. Secondhand smoke is a major public health concern, and a couple of years ago, HUD encouraged housing authorities to look at indoor smoking policies for the health of our residents. And the board of the Houston Housing Authority has decided to take this step to ban indoor smoking to improve the health of our residents. It's also a cost consideration. It costs us more to turn vacant apartments that smokers lived in, and indoor smoking is the number one cause of fire fatalities. So we're hoping that our insurance will actually go down once the policy is in effect.
Gunsolley went on to say that smoking is not a constitutional right, and residents who choose to ignore the smoking ban could be evicted.
Smoking is not a protected right of anyone, wealthy or poor. And we've seen in this country hotels go non-smoking. Many cities have passed indoor smoking bans in workplaces, including bars. Several cities have gone smoke-free entirely without regard to whether or not you're in the top 1% or the bottom 10%. So we don't think that this is an issue based on someone's social status. This is really a health issue. And the impact of the secondhand smoke was just too great for us to ignore. And we're not forcing anyone to stay with us. We will let people move out if they'd like to move out. We have a waiting list of thousands of people who would like an opportunity for this housing. This is a lease amendment, and it would be considered a lease violation. It eventually could lead to eviction. We are hopeful that it won't get to that we're able to work with the residents on areas where they can smoke or smoking cessation. Studies have shown that 70% of smokers want to quit, and we're partnering with MD Anderson to bring them the tools to help them quit.
The new smoking policy went into effect January 1st, but Gunsolley says enforcement will not begin until March 1st. All residents were asked to sign lease amendments which incorporate the new policy. The new policy affects the residents of 25 public housing properties consisting of 6,000 apartment units. Marlo, back to you.
Very interesting story. Now, have you actually talked to any of these residents yet?
No, but I'm sure a lot of them are not going to be happy with this because, if you own your own home, you're free to smoke in it, of course. But I guess if you're unfortunate enough to have to live in public housing, you have to live by the government rules, I suppose.
Lots of rules. Thank you for that report, David.